Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Ganesh Housing Corporation Limited Q3FY25 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajat Gupta. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sagar. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ganesh Housing Corporation Limited earning call to discuss the Q3 FY25 results. We have on the call with us today Mr. Rajendra Shah, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Neeraj Kalawatiya, Vice President Finance, and Mr. B. Ravi, Corporate and Financial Advisor. We must remind you that the discussion on today's call may include certain forward-looking statements and must be therefore viewed in conjunction with the risks that the company faces. I now request Mr. B. Ravi to take us through the company's business outlook and financial highlights, subsequent to which we'll open the floor for Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajat. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the Q3 FY25 earnings call for Ganesh Housing Corporation Limited. I trust that you have had an opportunity to review our latest presentation shared on the exchanges. We are pleased to state that the third quarter of FY25 has been yet another remarkable period for Ganesh Housing, continuing the momentum built over the previous quarters. With every passing quarter, we have surpassed all our earlier numbers and have grown from strength to strength, further establishing our credentials as Ahmedabad's foremost real estate company. First, the industry highlights. India's real estate sector has maintained its strong trajectory in the entire year of 2024, with institutional investment in Indian real estate reaching an all-time high of $6.5 billion, which is about 22% growth from $5.4 billion in 2023 calendar. This surge was driven by the industrial and warehousing segments particularly, which attracted $2.5 billion, accounting for about 39% of the total investments, followed by the office sector, which is having a share of 36%. The residential sector also showed significant momentum, growing 46% year-on-year to $1.1 billion. External investments comprise 66% of the total inflows, while domestic investment also rose, and they rose by 27%. The final quarter of 2024 was particularly dynamic, with about 1.9 billion investments and local investors contributing 43% of the total inflows, underscoring growing confidence in India's expanding real estate landscape. Ahmedabad also has been marching ahead. The Ahmedabad's real estate market has reached a significant milestone in 2024, with residential unit sales hitting a 10-year high. Residential sales grew by 15% year-on-year, with about 18,400 odd units sold compared to 16,100 in 2023. The mid-range segment, comprising properties priced between 50 lakhs to 1 crore, did dominate the sales, but the premium segment also has seen an increase. The year also witnessed a record introduction of 22,000 units, reflecting strong dynamic market. Notably, the office transactions volume surged by 64% compared to the previous year, with 3 million square feet transacted, driven by the city's evolving economic landscape and robust government support. Ahmedabad's emergence as a financial and economic hub, supported by initiatives like the establishment of the International Financial Services Center, has further solidified this position as a real estate hotspot. Ganesh Housing also saw a similar traction in the office space, with the IT SEZ, that Million Minds, attracting huge inquiries. Now on the operational highlights, Ganesh Housing continues to play a pivotal role in driving Ahmedabad's real estate growth. Let me share a few updates on the ongoing projects. Malabar Retreat. First, the project was launched in the end of quarter 4 of FY24, continues to receive strong market traction. Construction has progressed to about 22%, and pre-sales have crossed over 110 crores. Demand for premium apartments has been rising, and in our case, it is expected to rise further as construction milestones are achieved. The sample apartment is being readied anytime now, and after that we see that this will actually increase. This project will be a landmark project in premium housing in that area of Ahmedabad, and we are sure it will exceed customer expectations. On the Million Minds SEZ Phase 1, this marquee commercial venture is almost 1 year ahead of schedule, with completion expected by end of Q4 FY25, that is this year. It's expected to give possession for fit-outs by April-May 2025. Marketing efforts targeting major IT players have garnered significant, almost overwhelming interest, reinforcing the confidence with which we started. This project aligns with Ahmedabad's emerging hub for technology and innovation, and we are committed to ensuring its success. I'll talk about more of that later on in the question answer session. On the one front page, this commercial project, again another marquee project on SG Highway. It spans about 1.8 million square feet and is in the process of securing all necessary approvals, with the plans having been submitted. The project is projected to generate revenues of about 2,100 crores and is set for completion by H2 FY28. Its strategic location and design makes it a highly anticipated addition to Ahmedabad's commercial landscape. To remind you here, the commercial landscape of Ahmedabad was really quite vacant all these years, because after COVID, people have not been investing in new commercial spaces. So with this, actually the entire traction has started, and we believe that we really go places in the coming years. Now on Godavari Township, I had already informed you earlier, the surrounding project has attracted huge interest, and work on building sports complex is to begin soon. With this, the buzz around this area where we have one of the largest land banks is building with every passing day. We believe that the earlier plan, where we had earlier announced that we shall be working out the monetization of this in Q2 FY26, is on schedule. In addition to these developments, we are actively scouting opportunities for various land acquisitions in high potential areas. Our extensive land bank remains a cornerstone of our strategy, enabling us to respond swiftly to market demands while maintaining cost efficiency. Now coming to the financial performance. In Q3 FY25, Ganesh Housing has once again surpassed all earlier quarters. Revenue surged to 264 crores, reflecting a 44% year-on-year. EBITDA stood at about 218 crores, a growth of 57% YOY, with an EBITDA margin at 83%, supported by effective cost management and operational efficiency. PAT reached rupees 160 crores, a 60% increase over Q3 FY24, resulting in a PAT margin of 61%. For the 9 months ended December 2024, our revenues have reached rupees 734 crores, which is a growth of 19%. EBITDA has grown by 23% to 589 crores, and PAT has grown by 25% to 433 crores. This PAT is almost equal to the entire full year's PAT of FY24. This robust performance positions us well to exceed our projected 30 to 35% PAT growth for FY25, as already told you earlier. Ganesh Housing is poised to capitalize on Ahmedabad's growth trajectory. By leveraging our extensive land bank, we are uniquely positioned to deliver high-value developments across residential and commercial segments. Our focus remains on mid to premium housing, driven by evolving consumer preferences for spacious and luxury homes. Despite significant investment, our balance sheet remains robust with near zero debt and strong liquidity. This financial strength enables us to pursue growth opportunities, and deliver long-term value to all stakeholders. We also remain committed to leveraging technology and sustainable practices to enhance project efficiency and reduce environmental impact. Our roadmap for the next 5 years has already been announced. It includes the expansion of our presence in Ahmedabad's three growth corridors. With a strong pipeline of projects, we are confident in our ability to sustain growth and drive innovation in the real estate development. In closing, I want to express gratitude to the entire Ganesh Housing team for their unwavering support, and of course to the entire community at large, all the stakeholders. Together, we are reshaping Ahmedabad's skyline while creating enduring value for all our stakeholders. Our commitment to excellence, innovation, and customer satisfaction will continue to guide our journey forward. With this, I would open the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question comes from Akash from Nomura. Please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Hi, sir. Congrats on the great results. So my first question is on your pre-sales. So can you give me a expectation of what kind of pre-sales can we expect over the next 2 years? And second question is on the demand trend in Ahmedabad. Like, how are you looking at the on-the-ground demand? Any negative signs with respect to demand? And second is, like, how are you looking at the pricing trends overall?
Let me start with the demand and the pricing trends first. Ahmedabad demand doesn't seem to be dipping. In fact, yes, for the last 1 quarter, probably it has been little slower than ever before. But because of the developments that are happening continuously in this area, the demand hasn't slowed down or it hasn't dipped for sure. The prices also have been on the increase year on year, in line with every other development, whether it's cost of the construction or even just the inflationary trends. And the prices for real good apartments or office complexes, the premium ones, has never really abated. On the pre-sales, if you really see, the project which we have today is the Malabar Retreat. Okay, that is supposed to be completed, let's say, in the next 2 years. That's the only one which we have on the ground. Apart from that, yes, we will be having the residential projects of SEZ, as we had in Million Minds, that a non-processing zone, maybe in the next 6 months. That will be, whenever it is announced, we will be able to talk about the pre-sales at that point in time. At this point in time, I think we'll only talk about Retreat. But for the next 2-3 years, yes, there will be a Retreat, which probably would have been completely sold out. Then there will be SEZ Residential 1 and 2.
One Paltage.
And one more addition would also happen is one Paltage, which commercial one, which I just talked about. That is likely to come up, let's say, in the next quarter or so. That will add to pre-sales starting from next, maybe second or third quarter of FY26.
Okay, great, sir.
Not to forget the township project, that is the Godavari project. Let's call it as the Godavari project because it's a huge land bank there. That is also going to, as I told you just now, is going to start maybe in the Q2 of FY26. If that happens, then that will be a big pre-sales itself. So I would want to say that as of today, if you really want to talk about the pre-sales, I think we should wait for a real number, good number. We'll have to wait for Q2 or FY26.
Okay, great, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Krishna Shah from Ashika Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
hello. Yeah. So my first question is on the margins line. So how are our EBITDA and PAT margins so high? If you could just explain our moat for these numbers.
Yeah, you're finishing your question, or should I go ahead with the answer?
Yeah, this is my first question. So you can answer if possible.
Yeah. See, these are all historically invested land banks, and therefore the investment costs have been quite low. And therefore, automatically, when we sell it at this juncture where the pricing is really high in the market, the margins, the cost being so low, the margins are very high. So the margins is only a factor of the cost itself being lower.
Got it. So it is the land that is deriving this margin. So if you just quickly explain for any of your competitors, what would be the land price as a percentage of the revenue land cost, and what is yours currently?
You're talking about the price per square yard you're talking about, or as a percentage?
No, land cost as a percentage of revenue.
No, we did not get your question. Exactly, you want to?
I'm just trying to ask that if, for example, your competitors, what would be the land cost which would form part of your cost of goods sold? उनका land cost क्या होगा versus what is yours currently as a percentage of revenue, which is why the margins are so high, right?
So there are two parts to my answer. One is
got it.
One is if you are developing a project. In case one is developing a project, generally land cost depends on what area, what location you are having your project. But a good yardstick is provided by RERA, where RERA allows you to withdraw about 30% of the collections of project, assuming it to be land cost.
Okay. Got it.
However, in our case, there are, meaning our margins, net margins and our EBITDA margins are high only because of two factors. One, a lot of our revenue and profits are derived from sale of land and not from projects. And secondly, the land also, whatever we have sold is one which is historically acquired about 7-8 years back. And that is why historical cost of that land was very low. However, this is sold at real market prices. And hence the margins are very high.
Let me add to this. See, if you really want to have a comparison, Ganesh Housing has been always investing for a future growth. So wherever the land banks have been acquired, they have been acquired with a vision for the next 5-10 years and more. And therefore, historical cost of the land has always been lower in all the projects also. Now, that cannot be probably the same if you have to compare with others, because all other developers may be having a similar kind of a land bank. Others may actually use a land bank buying and add value to it in terms of construction. So they cannot be one, what I call as measuring rod for all the projects, but generally the land cost can be, comparative to the current market prices of that. If it is bought at that time and then developed, it can be very low if it's been already there in the books, like in our case. I hope that clarifies.
Got it.
Just to add to what Raviji just said, in fact, I would go one step further in stating that we would have competitive edge over other developers, because generally we tend to develop projects only on the land which we historically own. So there are my chances of making higher margins are very, very high as compared to anybody who acquires land freshly from market.
Got it. So just the last question. Firstly, how much land bank do we currently have, and if that is paid for everything or not? Are there any payments left? And secondly, about the revenue that we have currently of 2,641 crores in this quarter, what has been the split between land sold versus units sold?
See, total land bank we have in Ganesh Housing and subsidiary, and which are fully paid around 535 acres of land. And this land is fully paid for and fully accounted for. And in terms of the breakup of the sale between land and this, around 90 to 95% of the sale is coming from the land in this quarter, and The rest is coming from the project sale.
Okay. And going forward, where do you see this revenue split going?
See, this, at least for coming quarter and the coming year, we see momentum will keep on going on. And subsequently, we will have a substantial revenue coming from this developed project. Like two of them, which we explained in the earlier call, was Malabar Street and one Salpe. It will have a substantial resale value. That will add up to the top line and bottom line.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I'll come back in the queue.
And one more thing. This mix is going to remain so for some time because SEZ, what we are developing, processing area of SEZ, is meant for long-term lease. So we will be incurring lot of expense. We will be constructing project. However, we will be earning rent in terms of revenue. So there will not be lump sum sale kind of thing.
Got it. You are currently forming an annuity income in the Million Minds project, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Our next question comes from Sohail Kanani from ULJIK. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please, you are.
Yeah, so my first question is regarding the One Taljet commercial project. Are we still on track to begin the construction this quarter? And what are the initial market responses to this development?
No, it may not be starting this quarter because the plans have been submitted and the approvals may or may not come by this quarter, but surely in the next quarter. And as I said, in terms of the demand, there have hardly been any good commercial spaces been given out of late. And people have diverted all their attention from commercial to the residential ones after the COVID, the impact for the 2 years up to 21, 22. And therefore, addition of good commercial spaces has hardly been there. And now people have started, and therefore we do believe that 1 percentage demand of that will be high as soon as we start. And generally, we have always been, getting a good traction for these kind of places, especially the kind of a building that we are building. And this is going to be very close to a commercial hub. Like there is a mall opposite. There are various offices. There are residential spaces also. It's quite close towards the. And you might be knowing Palladian Club of Mall of Bangalore, Bombay. That's there in Ahmedabad also.
I do, yes.
Opposite to that. It's going to be that. So, and also it is there very close to the next CBD. That is the Vaishno Devi one. So I think this particular line has been really growing. So we do believe that we'll get a very good traction for this.
That's perfect. Okay. And I had one more question regarding try to comment on the trends and consumer preferences in the residential properties in the mid segment and say the premium segment, say 3 BHK or so in Ahmedabad. Or are there any shifts right now towards any other segments?
No, it will be 3 BHK, premium. All this has been the ones which have been most in demand.
Okay. Yeah, I think that answers my questions. Thank you. I'll be back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question comes from Ishita Lodha from Swan Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, is it possible to comment on the profile of the buyers of the land?
That's not possible right now.
No, but they are very well known developers of though not in organized sense and all. But all are having very, very credible background. So maybe we can take an offense to run for the time being with us.
Oh, no problem. And I have another question. Our land bank is about 535 acres, and even in last con call, you had mentioned it was 535 acres, and we had sold some land. So at the same time, we are buying some land. So are we buying it at the same location?
Yeah, it is the sale. The buying can happen at different locations, Ishita. And the selling is happening in around the Godavari. As we had said last time too, we do have surplus land in around that, which we have done it with development cost objective as well as land sale objective itself. So we do have enough for the township project. So other than that, whatever we believe can be a good one to sell it off, we have been selling in that area too. Buying has been happening at different locations on a very quiet basis.
So it is nearby area or it is far off, like the buying?
Nothing in Ahmedabad is really far away. Even the Godavari from where we are sitting right now, one Thursday, is a matter of 20 minutes. So we are buying land not from a distance perspective, we are buying it from a future development. So even if let's say it is 20 kilometers away or 50 kilometers away, we believe that is where the expansion of the city will happen. This is what we have done, whether it was the SEZ million minds what we are doing today, that was bought historically many years back. Godavari also was bought 15, 20 years back. So this is well in advance that we are looking at. So distances, many a times, by the time the development comes in, they vanish. And the distances are hardly there.
Okay, so my understanding is right that the thought process behind buying and selling of the land is because we believe that the land where we are buying, there the development would be better and there we could do better sales.
Yeah, it's a mix also. See, even if you do believe that the land that we have in Godavari, we are selling some places nearby Garodia, these are all areas which are also developing. We actually look at saying that whether it makes better sense to develop that piece of land or it makes sense to sell it off, you are getting a good price. And sometimes the latter wins over development. That's where we sell. This is a part of the vertical, right? So we can sell wherever we believe that makes more sense than developing it.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's it from my side. Yeah.
Thank you, Shida.
Thank you. The next question comes from Rohit Shinde from Market Memories Wealth Advisors Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, Rohit. Yeah, so I have two questions. So my first question, sir, is how has the Malabar retreat project advanced given the earlier weather-related delays? And are you on track to meet the revised completion timeline?
There's no revised. Actually, Malabar retreat will, like all other projects, we are sure that it will be completed before time. As you know, Exotica was completed almost 10-12 months before the due date. The same thing would happen because in a matter of a few months, let's say by 7-8 months, the structure has come to almost, in the 2 towers, comes to almost 6 floor and 8 floor. So we believe that it's absolutely on track, maybe even earlier. And the sale part of it will pick up once the viewing happens on the sample flats, which is expected in 15 days from now, maybe, or 1 month. Yes, Dheeraj.
I think there is slight confusion here. There is no delay in terms of construction. I think you're coming out the last quarter call where we have said the progress has been a little slower. Now, we explained during that call also the progress was slower because of the rainy season. And whenever we account for the total completion period, we account for those contingency also of monsoon period where the work remains slower. So there is nothing like it is not as per the schedule or it is delay. It is as per the schedule only. And this progress is well accounted for when we take into account the total period of the completion.
Got it, sir. Thank you very much. And my second question, sir, is that you have deployed precast technology, to reduce labor dependency across your projects. So are there plans to adopt other innovative construction methods across projects?
At this point, see, that's a continuous development. Maybe our goal is also there. Anmol, would you like to take that?
So we are always exploring new technology. Even as we develop the township, we can probably use technologies like 3D printing for smaller villas. So we are always exploring technology. So as and when the new projects come up, depending on the size and scale of the project, we definitely implement newer technologies.
Thank you very much, sir, for answering both my questions.
Thank you. The next question comes from Sarthak Avasthi from Sea Funds Management India Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, my question is on the supply side in the Ahmedabad city. So, how much supply we have seen increase in the past 5 years, and how much we are expecting in the upcoming 5 years? Because that will be the defining the pricing point in that city. So, can you brief on that?
Now, in terms of the supply, if you see, the latest report which is published there in terms of the total launches, in fact, there is sudden reduction in terms of the launches, but whereas there is an increase in the absorption. So vice versa, if you see on the demand side, though there is a market is progressing, but on the launches side, there is a little, I'm saying, hold back by the developer largely because of there is one big major event which is taking place in Ahmedabad is the revision of the Jantri rates. Now, because that is impacting the cost of the project. So there is a lot of projects where the developers are waiting and watch before launching their project.
So we are not expecting a lot of supply side, meaning supply side pressure. And secondly, the areas in which we operate, in fact, Ganesh Housing happens to be the one of the largest developer in that area. So again, micro geography wise also, we don't expect a lot of competition from local developers or developers operating in that area. From that perspective, actually, we are kind of, I would say, well equipped and we are safe.
Okay, so then my second question is on that we have a moat in Ahmedabad, like we have an edge over other companies as we have a land bank. So are there any plans to cater to enter into new cities, the emerging cities, which can be the future? So my question is on the capital allocation part. As we are on the cash surplus, so where we are going to allocate that capital so that the returns to the shareholders should be maximum?
So at this point in time, we have enough on hand in terms of developing various projects which we have announced in Ahmedabad itself. And therefore, though we do explore other cities, we haven't yet gone into any other cities, and there are no immediate plans of that. Having said that, I don't think if a very good opportunity comes in, it will be ignored. But there are enough things happening in Ahmedabad which is keeping us busy. And we do believe that in the next 2-3 years also, this will continue to be busy.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, sir. And all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Prith Nagarsheth from Wealth Advisory. Go ahead.
Yes, just one clarification. Sir, you mentioned Godavari Township to be launched by Q2 of financial year 26. Is that what you had said?
That's right. Yeah. This is the same time, last quarter we had said that looking to all the developments which are happening there, we are trying to realign our planning in line with that. And therefore, yes, as of today, it's absolutely on track. The dates stay as what announced already. Q2 FY26.
Got you. And what do you think would be the impact of the Jantri or the circle rate increases that are being planned? How do you see that impact, Ganesh?
At this point, it is very difficult to say exactly because nothing is certain. There have been all various, rates, various values, various news which has been coming in, but nothing really concrete. So it's very difficult to really pinpoint as to what could be the impact. I think we'll have to wait for the dust to settle to be able to tell anything very concrete. Generally, as you see, this can, it can be beneficial also going forward. And it has got its both pros and cons. And actually, it's a debate, which is exactly what is going on right now also in the market. So I think we'll have to wait for some time to be able to comment on that.
Right. And lastly, sir, a bookkeeping question. we seem to be on track for the targets that you had mentioned, guidelines for this financial year. What about the next financial year? Any guidelines that we can have from you?
We'll have to first, when we have our budgets done in the next board meeting before the next year, I think that will be the appropriate time to talk about it, because it will be year to year. So I think in the next call, we'll surely be able to tell you what could be the targets. Because we are not giving the projections as such, we have been only giving 1 year view. So I think we'll do that in the month of May.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Wishing you guys all the best.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you. A reminder again to all the participants, if you wish to register for a question, please press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. The next question comes from Khushwant Pahwa from KPAC. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Congratulations on a great set of numbers. My question is regarding your project Million Mind. You mentioned that you will be finishing the construction in Q4 of current financial year and giving it for fit-outs April onwards.
Correct.
I also recall one of the discussions in previous concall wherein we said, that as per Ind AS 115, we can only book revenue when the construction is complete or OC is given and sale deed is happening. So just wanted to understand, when do you see the revenue for this project getting booked? In this fiscal year or next fiscal year?
This will be in FY26 starting. I'll explain. As you know, Million Minds is the phase 1, what we are doing right now is all going to be on the lease out basis. It's going to be giving us continuous annual lease rentals. And the kind of attraction, I told in my opening remark that I'll be talking about the traction in the SEZ. Now is the time to talk about the Million Minds. Though there are about 14 floors, 14 or 15 floors, including the general utility one, the kind of a marketing which has been done and it's been continuously happening at various roadshows in various cities, top tier cities, we have got an inquiry for leasing out almost 30 floors. So it's almost double than what we have available as an inventory. That is the traction which I earlier also told about the commercial spaces, really receiving very good attraction in the city of Ahmedabad. So with that, we do believe that though earlier in terms of whatever we had said that the lease happens once the building is completed, it might happen for in the next 6 months fully leased out. The way the traction is that we may be able to get a majority of the lease rentals in the next FY26 itself. So almost like what we had said, about 70 crores is the lease rental we'll be earning on that year on year. The way it is, it will be more than 70 crores. It will not be less, but it will be more than that. And also, the lease out can happen because of that, the demand which has come up. It can happen quite immediately, giving us almost the entire 70 odd crores or more in the year FY26 itself. So the revenue will start flowing. It's not going to be sold. If it was sold, yes, it would have been as and when sold, it would have come up. It's released out, it's lease rentals for that month itself.
Understood. And just one more question. Your land bank continues to be around 535 acres. Can you just give an idea about how much land was bought and sold in this quarter in terms of acreage?
We can tell you the sold. The ones which are there in acquisition can always be 531 is already acquired, of which about 26 acres have been sold. And there will be more additions also because there are things which are being added too.
Noted. All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Yasmin from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Congratulations on a good set of numbers.
Thank you.
My question pertains to basically one is land sales. I think you sold around 20-25 acres last quarter also, right? A similar number this quarter?
True, very true. It was just around the same, 23 and now 25. Correct.
And what was the sales from that in terms of crores or rupees?
I think it was almost like 250, 240.
Roughly around
90%.
Sorry, 90?
90% of the total revenue of that quarter comes from the land.
266 का 90% लगा दीजिए.
Acha, that is on the land sales.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This sale you said this land was in that Godavari belt, right?
Not necessary. Like we have a lot of surplus land in and around Godavari. Like there are the area like Garodia, Nizhad, which are adjoining to the Godavari area, where we are holding a surplus land also.
Right. So my last question. So basically, last 2 quarters we haven't really had a lot of house sales, but more of land sales is what is driving the numbers.
Yes.
And going ahead, you are expecting probably home sales to kind of and rentals to kind of drive the numbers, right?
Yes, both of them, in fact.
But 3 things. Land being this vertical will always be there. Then there is this Godavari, as I just said, starting in Q2, that will be actually project sales. Then there are these rental incomes which will start next year itself from Million Mines Phase 1. That will be also all project sales on annuity. So I think these are the things which will attribute to the sales in FY26.
Right. And my okay, understood. So and your annuity income, what you're targeting is upwards of 70 to 100 crores, right?
70 crores.
70 crores per annum.
Upwards of 70 crores, correct, per annum.
That will come in from Q1.
No, Q1, but may not be entire amount of 7 crores happening in or 6 crores happening in the month of April itself. But majority of the 70 odd crores will happen in FY26. Maybe let's say 70-80% of that, because leasing out, when we give it out for fit outs in April, May, there will be a couple of 1 or 2 months which we are always giving. So we can take safely 10 months of rentals probably of this the next year.
60 odd crores per annum is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Not per annum, only for FY26. Thereafter it will be the full rate.
70 each per annum.
Right, understood. Okay. And any rough number in terms of this Godavari project, what could be the potential in terms of sales once you have the blueprint or you start executing the phases?
See, we have already given that number on a basic plot-to-plot game, where if you develop the entire area on the basic plotting side, it gives us roughly around the sales potential of 5,000 crores.
5,000 crores, okay.
Yes.
And how many acres would that be?
That is a 450 acres.
Okay, and all of it is owned by you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it will be over how many years?
It is part of our 7 to 10 years of plan.
Okay, understood. All right, that helps. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Heta from Monarch AIF. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Heta.
Yeah, hi. So I had just 2 quick questions. I believe earlier you had mentioned that Million Mines Commercial Phase 1 may also be sold out because it was seeing a good traction. So is that plan, are we not going ahead with the plan? Are we sticking to leasing the commercial Phase 1?
We would, we always preferred leasing Phase 1. And therefore, I think if the traction for leasing is there, we will go ahead with that rather than sale.
Okay.
But that plan is not dropped. That option is still open. If you get a good kind of opportunity there also.
So by when could we have some clarity on that part? Say in the next 2-3 quarters?
The way it stands today, almost the entire first phase would be on lease basis, and therefore the rental will start off, as I said, maybe after the fit-out period, but for at least 10 months next year, from the end of first quarter or second quarter of FY26.
Understood. And just one clarification. So this 500 acres of land inventory that Ganesh Housing has, that is over and above the future development plans, right?
Hey, this is part of this land bank, is part of that future plan, which we have already disclosed.
Understood. That's it from my side. All my remaining questions are answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heta.
Thank you. The next question comes from Neeraj Sadani, investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. So my question, one question was regarding, the million SEZ. So from what I understand, we do have a lot of inquiries. Now, SEZs usually have to, occupy. SEZ usually give benefits to various sections of the Income Tax Act. So will the occupiers of million mines also get that benefit? Have we got those permissions in place?
In terms of income tax, now that benefit has gone. That scheme which was available for the SEZ, the sunset clause has already been offered. But now you see more than the income tax, GST is the largest tax component for any business nowadays. And this SEZ is a GST tax-free zone. So as against the income tax, the GST benefit will be much larger to the unit holder.
Apart from that, Gujarat government has announced lot of other benefits and stocks to unit holders and developers of SEZ. All those benefits will be available. However, the income tax benefit, what you just said, that is something which will not be available.
Yeah, because that benefit is available in GIFT City, from what I understand, when I just read online regarding the GIFT City, which is basically our closest competition for all these MNCs and corporate setting up shop at your Million Mines project. Because if they will compare, GIFT City and Million Mines, then what do you think? Where do we stack up? Because I'm pretty certain that the GIFT City entities are actually getting tax benefits.
Neeraj, see, it's not exactly one-on-one comparison. I'll tell you what tax benefits are there in GIFT City are in the IFSC zone only. It is only for the financial services. What we have in SEZ is a combination of SEZ and non. So we 50-50. We can have SEZ units 50 and 50 can be non-SEZ units also. So it is not exactly for the reasons of tax benefits that people will be coming to this, but for the infrastructure. But for GIFT City IFSC, it will be only for the financial services sector going for the tax benefits. So there's a major difference between these two.
Now you see,
I get it. Million Mines is IT, and I think you're focusing on the tech part of it, and GIFT City is looking at the finance part. So fair point. And well taken. But, in that case, when we are talking to different, I don't know how it is in the rest of the country. So you are saying that nowhere, when a new IT company sets up a shop in the SEZ, they don't get income tax benefits anymore. Is that right?
Yes, because that income tax benefit is withdrawn now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this IT-enabled services scope is very, very wide to include virtually all the businesses which one can think of. Not only financial services, which is the case with GIFT, as again that.
Also, again, a new manufacturing area which is called Dholera, which is going to have a lot of semiconductor and battery, EV, these kind of manufacturing capabilities over there. Even those kind of companies who are setting up shop there are looking to have space at Million Mines because first of all we are closer to them than any other SEZ like GIFT City, so we are much closer to them. Plus they get a lot of benefits on R&D and other services as well, not only services.
Neeraj?
We have done it ourselves and we have decided we are going to save enough. We did like a great day of this,
Sorry to interrupt, sir. We are losing your audio in between.
Hello? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neeraj.
I'm saying that, so I understand that in the GIFT City, the land belongs to the government and they lease out to various developers to make projects. So there are some restrictions. But here, in Vaishno Circle, this is a private land owned by the Ganesh Housing, Corporation, right?
Yes.
So this is our internal decision that we have decided that I want to give it out to IT. So tomorrow, if we want to give it out to, say, a finance guy also, nobody stops us. That's what I'm trying to ask.
Yes. So for the special economic zone region, we have so anything from IT services, manufacturing related, R&D related, we can do anything like that. And in the domestic regions, which is the other 50%, we can give out offices to anyone. Doesn't matter the industry.
Okay. As long as they are exporting or services and stuff, it's fine with you. So like we do qualify for GCCs, right? Like someone from say, yeah. Okay. And now that since we have so much demand for million mines, like Sir explained it, instead of 14 floors, we actually have a demand of 30 floors coming in. Do we plan to, prepone our phase 2?
Bang on, Neeraj. That is almost certainly likely to happen. Of course, we'll have to wait for a proper announcement on that. But you are right. That looks to be on the cards for sure.
Okay. And this million mines, we are going to lease out as a core and shell basis, or are we going to finish it and give it?
We aim at giving it as core shell. If somebody asks for it and we have to do it for them, we'll charge them and do it for it also.
Because our revenue realization is pushed forward if we finish and give. If we give core and shell, then our revenue can start flowing in immediately.
True. Yes.
Okay. And any particular reason as to why we are, so bullish on the Godavari area? Like, I am not from Ahmedabad, I'm not from Gujarat, so I don't really know if you could throw some light as to, what is the realization, because I don't know if it's a rumor or something. Somebody had told me that, probably that is the reason where the Olympic Village is supposed to be setting up or something like that. So, I mean, I'm just trying to corroborate, that is the reason why you're so bullish on Godavari, because when you're selling land also, you're still buying it in that area.
No, see, I'll tell you. On the call, I can only say that there's a lot happening around that period. I would definitely wish that you come over here. We'll actually have a personal meeting. Maybe all of you who can come over, and we'll take you and give you a proper presentation on that. But on the call, because it can be, it can take a long time to really explain what all has been happening. But I can tell you something very interesting is happening around that time, that place.
Yeah, and for that matter, even if Olympic doesn't happen over there, for argument's sake, if we say that if it doesn't happen, even in that case also, if Godavari happens to be natural extension of South Bhopal, predominantly saturated residential area, which is going to extend to that area. So anywhere city is expanding into that area, and we will have good sellability in that.
Also, one more reference that I can give is that the most prime area is SG Highway, where all the main clubs are located. So clubs become certain hubs. So Karnavati Club, Rajput Club, etc. Now Godavari is even before the newer ones that Karnavati and Rajput are building. So it is in between that, and people are developing things like ahead of Godavari already. A lot of developments are happening ahead of Godavari. So there's a blank space in between, so a lot of development is poised to happen over there.
I might have missed this, but so essentially, are you planning to sell plotted lands only, or will it be a mix?
See, the current number which we have given, that is largely on the plotted development only. So on a conservative basis, as and when...
But the entire 450 acres of plotted land will fetch you 5,000 crores?
Yes. And if the development horizon changes, then this number will automatically be increased to that extent.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. All my questions are answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Kshitij Saraf from Tusk Investments. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Congratulations on the continued good performance. I wanted to understand, since you're focused only on Ahmedabad, are you planning to add more asset classes in the mix? So you're focused on resi and commercial right now. Are you going to look at likes of hospitality, likes of retail, and sort of widen your breadth in terms of your development?
The master plan at that Million Mines also has this kind of thing.
So if you just check the website of Million Mines, you will be able to see the master plan where we are going to come up with co-living spaces. Co-working will obviously be there in the commercial. part, but there will be co-living spaces, hotels, service apartments. So all of these are future plans. So once we have a certain amount of development already there, then we will execute these projects. So in the future call, we will address these questions in more detail.
Got it. Thank you. And from a cash deployment standpoint, we have the cash on the books. So are you planning to pay it out in the form of dividend primarily?
Dividend decision will be taken at the end of the year by the board. Yes, I mean, we had given the dividend last time. That was a good payout of more than 20%. And we hope to
110%.
No, but payout being more than 20%, 28%. Yeah. So I think giving the kind of numbers we have shown and what we like to show, that could continue. But it's little early to say how will that be utilized. Of course, there are a lot of projects to be used. So there will be it will be a very proper decision taken by the board, which will happen in the next 4 months.
The line for the current participant has been dropped from the queue. We'll move on to the next question. The next follow-up question comes from the line of Khushwant Pahwa, KPAC. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks once again. Just one question. We see that about 90% of the revenue and to that extent profits are coming from sale of land, and even though the rental incomes may pick up 70 crores next year from Million Mines and all, the mix of land may continue to be significant in the overall revenue share. So are you expecting to maintain the run rate of land sales quarter on quarter? Any thoughts, if you can share any guidance that you can give broadly?
I'll give you a very short answer to this. If you go ahead with the plans that we have announced about Godavari, whether it's project or construction or as a plotted development from Q2 FY26, the majority of the revenues would be from project sales and not land sales. Now, this land sales is always a vertical, but it's not that it will continue to be in the similar magnitude as we see now. So this is an opportunity which we are seized at this point in time. Next year onwards, the way the project developments are happening, majority of the revenue would be from the housing, from lease rentals, from Godavari and the like, and maybe from one package also in terms of the project after the execution. So it will not necessarily be a significant portion for the next 3 years or something. But yes, for 1 or 2 years, it can be significant. Or if the project of Godavari starts off next quarter, as I said, in next year, then this land sale will become a lesser significant number of the total.
Understood. But then the revenue recognition for those will happen only when we are able to complete those projects, right? So there may be a lag.
Godavari, sorry to interrupt, but Godavari is not only construction. It can also be plotted. So if it is plotted, then the revenue recognition happens immediately.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Amber Jain from an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congrats, first of all, for the fantastic result. I just wanted to know, as Tishman Spear is one of your marketing partner in Million Mines, so they are one of the, I think so, prominent IT leasing player in world. So is there any plans for this in this Million Mines project for getting of some data center or something like that?
See, as of now, in the total SEZ portion, there can be a potential. But for phase 1, currently, the data center cannot be set up in this kind of building. That requires a different kind of infrastructure altogether. So maybe in the total area, it can be set up as part of some of the strategic planning, but not in phase 1.
Okay. And as if now, as you said, that there are a lot of traction in terms of inquiry in Million Mines, but any LOIs or any intent that has been closed, or it is still under discussion or negotiation?
No. I mean, there are, very close to LOIs itself. I think we'll have to wait for just a month, 2 months, where we'll be able to make larger announcements on this.
Okay. And sir, the last question, the one Salkej project that you are planning to start, is there any pricing visibility of it, that what pricing we are planning to launch or something on that? It is yet under discussion?
In terms of what? Sellable pricing, you're saying?
Sellable pricing, yeah, per square feet or maybe total revenue that we are planning maybe.
That is largely in the range of 6,000 to 7,000. 6,500 you can say. The 7,000 on sellable area.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. So this was my question. Thanks a lot, sir.
Any commercial?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for the day. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you, everyone. That was an interesting call. Thanks for all the questions. As said, we'll continue to focus on performance and delivering all our promises. We look forward to seeing you all soon, maybe in Ahmedabad, and also for the next quarter call, which will be the yearly call. Thanks once again. Have a nice day.
Thank you. On behalf of Ganesh Housing Corporation Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.